Alright, y'all. So my name is Al, and a lot of you guys know me from my YouTube channel, Figures in Action. But something you didn't know about me is that I've always wanted to vlog. So a few years ago, more than a few years ago, there's some time back that I started to blog. So for a whole year, my goal in the beginning of it was like, yo, I'm gonna blog for a whole year, and I'm gonna do once a week, so we can have 52 weeks or 52 episodes by the end of the year. So that was the goal. And my blogging touched on everything from sports that I enjoy, my family, so forth and so on. So I enjoyed it. And it was a time before vlogs were happening. So it was, although it was cool, it was sitting down and writing, and it was all good, but a lot of times I just didn't have enough time to kind of do that. So with a video blog, essentially it makes it a lot easier. There have been at least two people that have maybe three people that really enjoy my rants on my Figures in Action channel. So at the very least, I feel good that I should get at least 3 subscribers. And if by the end of the year, that's the only 3 I have, I'm good with that, man. Because, you know, if somebody's asking for something, and I'm going to give it to them, right? So they want some ranting, so we'll make this vlog, a little bit of ranting, a little bit of me, a little bit of my day-to-day, my life. You know, they say that every 5 years we change as people. You know, some to the extreme and some not so much. So I always find it interesting to kind of, I guess, record my life in any particular section of it. So the last time I was blogging, I was married, my kids were younger. You know, I wasn't into collecting, or I've always collected action figures, but I was more into just kind of collecting them, put to the side now, I create these dioramas and I do action figure photography. So things have changed a little bit on my end. I'm no longer married. I have been divorced as of the day after Christmas of 2017. I have been officially divorced, but I have been separated from my ex-wife for almost 4 years. So in that time, I fell in love, and I am with my new better half, and she'll be a part of this as well because she's a big part of my life. My daughter is now 14 years of age. She is a 8th grader, so she'll be a freshman next year in high school. Hopefully she'll be okay with me recording some of her life as well. You know how 14-year-olds can be. My 2 sons are now 25 years of age and 20 years of age. My eldest son lives in Quincy, which is in my state of Massachusetts, and he works a lot, and he's kind of finding himself. He's discovering who he is and kind of living life. My 20-year-old moved to San Francisco not too long after high school to go to school, and it didn't work out. And I'm actually going to touch a little bit on him, on Abel, because I love that kid, man. He's braver than I ever was, you know, and I'm absolutely proud of him. And I think I tell him that often, but I don't think he really believes me, or he really takes the words the way I'm trying to deliver them, which is to say, man, this has been a great ride with him. So I definitely want to touch a little bit about that particular adventure, and just talk to you guys about my day-to-day. Again, you know, some people may be interested, some people may not. As I've stated plenty of times, anytime, as soon as social media kind of became a thing, I remember specifically thinking to myself, you know what, I'll do this as a tool to talk about things that I enjoy, or to take pictures of things that I like, and so forth. It was never about, you know, I want to get as many followers, or I want to monetize, or anything like that. So I'm going to approach this the same way. It doesn't really matter to me how the channel does in terms of numbers. What matters to me is the message that I'm sending out, and sharing with you guys what my day-to-day, what my life looks like, and some of my struggles and some of my victories and so forth and so on. A lot of times, you know, it's interesting because a lot of people get really caught up in the lives of celebrities, and by no means am I a celebrity in the least. Although I remember one time I was at the Wrentham outlets in Massachusetts, and I went into the Timberland outlet store, and I went to pay for some boots that I bought for my son, and the dude was like, yo, Al Figures. That's my one brush with a fan. So yeah, man. So I've always enjoyed social media. I think it's cool, And I've always been able to take it kind of with a grain of salt, which is to say that I don't take it too serious in terms of any aspect of it. You know, again, it's I almost look at it as a time capsule. A lot of times I go back on pictures that I posted 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago, and man, just kind of opening that picture and kind of looking at it, it puts me back in a place where I used to be. It brings back, you know, and for the most part, it's always good. It brings back great memories or good times and that type of thing. So because of that, I try, you know, I try my best to continue to add to that time capsule. So none of this is scripted, man. Nothing I do is scripted. I rarely ever sit down. The only thing I generally have scripted with my other channel is whenever I do like an end of the year type of episode, or you know, what I'll do is I'll write down things that I want to discuss. So in that sense, it's scripted, but I'm gonna mess up and stumble over my words. I'm not the greatest at English, at speaking English or Spanish, so I don't know where that leaves me, because that's the only 2 languages that I speak. But I'll be me. And that's that, I guess, you know. So subscribe, check it out. I'll be sharing some stuff. Some of it will cross over into action figure, the action figure portion of my life, and some of it will just be everyday things, talking to friends, you know, whoever's willing to be on camera and say a few words about any particular topic. You know, today's a good example of a comment that I received a week ago on my other channel. I had made a comment about how, and this was an older video, so it was when Puerto Rico was going through that hurricane, Hurricane Maria, I think it was, some time ago, where it devastated the island. To this day, you know, 6 months later, a lot of the island still has no electricity. It's still wild, and it's still mind-boggling to me that that is still the case. But with what happened in Katrina, it's not. I shouldn't be surprised. You know, this is America, and sometimes, you know, things happen the way they happen, and sometimes I have no idea why. So I had made a comment to the effect of, you know, I wish that the president was doing a little bit more, and somebody came on and just had a really long-winded comment to my comment, and essentially, and it was all respectful, but essentially he touched on a couple topics that I felt uncomfortable talking about. Some of it was how he felt that because there was slavery, that a lot of African American people are still kind of on that and just still feel like they're owed something, or, you know, something to that effect, you know, which was wild to me. So I commented back by just saying, listen, I'm not black, you're not black, so for us to sit here and have this conversation or discussion on what you think or what I think is irrelevant. It makes no sense. But it is unfair for anyone to assume what it's like to be in another person's shoes, or to assume that if they were black, they would deal with it differently, because you're not, and you don't know, and you'll never know. People in this country can be fucked up, and a lot of times you get judged on the color of your skin, or the accent when you speak, or where you're from, or, you know, economically where you're placed, and so forth. So, you know, it's those are the kind of things that I do want to talk about, that I want to touch on, is those situations, those things where I have an opinion on it, and I'm curious to see what other people think about it. But not too deep, man, because I don't want to make this one of those situations where it's just like really, you know, it's just kind of really delving into things with just a whole bunch of research and so forth and so on. Facts are facts, you know. Certain things that are black and white, but generally in life is a gray area. Life is all gray. Like there is no, you know, the only black and white in life is that we're all gonna die. No one survives, and we all have to pay our taxes, you know, if you work, because some people just live off the land and they've decided to not work. So there's not much that's guaranteed in this life, in this world, and I just want to kind of touch upon just things that pop into my mind, things that I'm passionate about, or the things that I'm just curious about. So I hope you subscribe, and I will attempt to do this a little more often because it's a lot easier than working on diorama videos. This is a lot easier. You turn it on, you record, you stop. Alright guys, so I hope you stick around and join me for some action-packed speaking. Alright, and I'm out. Peace.